Welcome back to Silverrun Forest on Farming Simulator 22 Platinum Edition for episode 22 with me, MrSealyp. It's 2:22. I've got some jobs I have done, some jobs I need to do. I said in the last episode we've got a whole load to do. My field was finished with mulching. Did I put the screenshot up? I probably already done the screenshot. We had 36 bales I got onto the trailer, did them all with the skid steer loader, loved every second of it. They've been unloaded over there, so our hay loft has got our straw, hay and our silage bales next to it, so if we get around to doing total mixed ration, that's where we're going to be doing it. I have put a shed in. I said I was going to do it in the gap this side of the railway, because it worked really well actually. So for my farm machinery at the moment, well, some of it, I've got it in here, and I can kind of bounce machinery between my different places where I'm going to need it. So that's worked out quite nicely. Fits in this gap, this little triangle just here. I've got a couple of facilities I'm going to place today, and we're going to hopefully get those up and running. I said about doing manure. Now I've given myself a couple of options here. Up at Rural Farm South, which is just up the slope there, just over there. I sold wood chips there a while back. I have got the ability from that little farm to buy manure. If I want to buy some manure, I can go up and I can show you. You probably won't find it on your map, but I've put it on there. It's a little buy manure wheelbarrow. I think I used it on Western Miles. I'm trying to remember now. There's a little wheelbarrow. That's interesting. I haven't cultivated. Where did the stones come from? Were they here before? I didn't think I'd filled stones on this one. Are they on? It's... That's not just the texture, is it? Plowed seedbed growing, ready to harvest. Now, do I get a rock picker and try? I'm sure I've got that turned off. Because I was getting stones from the rock piles elsewhere, I wasn't too bothered about getting stones off the fields. Okay, that's an interesting one. Our lumber has continued. I said I've changed over to 12 metre cut length. So what I'm thinking of doing now, I'm going to go and gather some of the rock piles up. We're going to head over to where our other productions are, our little sawmill of our own, and we're going to put in the debris crusher. I'm going to need to put water with that as well, so we can start producing lime. Don't need it yet. My field doesn't need liming, but they will do moving forward. This gap I've made here, like I said, I've got the option to buy manure. But I think I'm going to put in that little manure factory. I've used it a few times now and it works and I like it. It's a 1:3. I said it was a 1:4 ratio, but it's a 1:3. I'm going to take 100,000 litres out of there because that will then put us at about the same. It'll be around 115, 120,000 litres of each product. At the moment I've got 213 or 230 of straw. So if I take 100,000 out, put it in here, that'll give me 300,000 litres of manure so I can manure my fields. But I haven't got to buy fertiliser then. I mean, to be fair, again, it's those options you've got to look at and decide, do you want to do stuff for gameplay? Do you want to do stuff because you want to try things out? Are you doing it to save as much money as possible? Are you doing it to be as efficient as possible? How are you playing the game? How you play the game is how you want to play the game, and that's fine. There's loads of different ways of doing it. Because I could buy, I've got the farm supplies pack by the Lort, and if I go in, I can buy a pallet of 5,000 litres of fertiliser for 1,000. And that's me covered for ages. But I wanted to do manure. I haven't done muck spreading for a while. I've used manure for other things on other maps, but not actually doing muck spreading. If I scroll out and I get to my farm supply pack, I can even buy straw there as well. Where are we? Fertiliser pallet, 1,000 for 5,000 litres. If you haven't used this pack before, it works brilliantly. You know, it's nice, cheap as chips. A little bit like the CNS modding and Marie silo that I used to use, nice and cheap. So I could just do that if I wanted to, but I thought, you know what, I'm not going to. So what I'm going to do, well, hopefully it's going to fit in here actually, I'm not sure if it will. I'm going to try and place it a bit of a slope in this gap, and I'm going to bring 100,000 litres over. Then we're going to get stones off of here, all the piles that I've already done. We're going to take over and we're going to set up the debris crusher, and then I might lease a rock picker and see what's going on here. Might grab the plough and plough with the bit I want to do over there, or I might grab a seeder. I've got an idea. I might go for the John Deere 8350. It's an ARM team one, 6 metres wide. We've had it on previous versions of the game. And it's a direct drill as well, so and it's only about £6,000, 6 metres, £6,000. Yeah, I'm sure it is. So yeah, a few bits need to be done, and I'm going to get on with them. So we'll see how this pans out. Bear with me. Let's see if we can get this built. Okay, we're in. I might need to feather that a little bit if it will allow me. Got a little bit of a bump this side as well. It's going to be interesting. So we should be able to bring our straw in. Is it here? There we go, 1 to 3, straw in, manure out. Straightforward. Or I can go and buy it. I mean, either way round, but I thought I'd give it a go. What I might do, let's try, don't often say show me doing landscaping, but we go sculpting and we want soften. Oh. Don't know how far it'll let me go with this. Just want to try and level it by the tracks because it just looks a little bit. I don't want the train getting caught up. Not the train is going to get caught up, but you never know. That's a little bit better, isn't it? Just tidy the edges up a little bit. That is looking better already. Excellent. I hope you all had a lovely weekend. If you saw my tweet or my Facebook post, wow, I had a right old doozy. I decided I was going to go out and do a long walk. I think I mentioned it, maybe, did I mention it Saturday? I was going to go out for a walk Sunday. The weather had been pretty ropey and it had been raining a lot, and I was waiting for a day it was going to be dry. So I checked the weather forecast. It was set to be dry till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. So I thought, right, get out with Farm Dog. I think I've gone out to 7 odd miles on my last walk, or the last couple of walks I've done. So I thought, I'm going to push out, I'm going to try for a 10 miler. Just to see, because I'm going to start doing Paris 10 training. I mean, I need to start smaller. I will talk about the Paris 10. Like I said, when I do a few more videos, I'll probably do a little bit more on that. But it requires carrying a pack over a certain distance, that kind of thing. So I thought I'll start a little bit smaller, but with a pack. So I had, I think, 6 kilo pack, as opposed to when you do the Paris 10, it's 16 kilos, which is 35 pounds. So I had 6 kilo with some water and stuff in it and stuff to have a brew. So I thought, what I'll do, we'll get halfway around this 10 miler. I can take as much time as I like. I'm not going to rush it. Stop and have a brew, film it, and have a bit of a chat. We'll do a bit of a walk and talk while we're out and about. All good, I thought. So off we set, Farm Dog and I, in the morning. We got about halfway round. So it was literally, it didn't matter which way round we went. From that point, we had 5 miles to get back. And it was about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, I guess. And the heavens opened. I mean, it was torrential. Now, because the forecaster said it was going to be good, and it's my own fault, I should have gone prepared. I didn't take waterproofs, I didn't carry a load of stuff with me. Farm Dog didn't have his waterproof coat thing with him, and it just came down like a monsoon. The temperature dropped. It was horrible, which is not a bother in and of itself. However, my heel that I mentioned Boxing Day, my heel was hurting when I went out for a walk. It was hurting a little bit, not too bad. Farm Dog decided to stop straight in front of me. Just for some reason, he was on his lead, just stopped. I pulled up to avoid falling over him. As I fell forwards, I didn't fall on him. my left leg, that where my heel had been hurting, something twanged. I mean, a proper twang. Could have been a tear, could have been a break, could have been, not, I say not a bone break, but I think I've done my Achilles tendon. So it was that kind of thing. You know, I always, when I'm doing long walks, especially when you get to a point where I'm worn out and I'm tired and that kind of thing, I always kind of, I know this will sound really cheesy and a little bit corny, and I apologise if it does. I'm not trying to offend or upset anyone, but because of people I've known that have passed away through various different things, and a friend of mine died in Helmand. I'm going to talk about that later on when I do another video, but and I watch a lot of Black Rifle Coffee Company stuff, the guys that do the veteran-owned coffee company in the US, and they do a lot of stuff for veterans and that kind of thing. I always think there are people that can't go out and walk, can't do what I'm doing. I'm trying to do more and get out more. If they do, they're in a lot of pain. I thought, it's just pain. It's I'll be fine. It's just pain. I'll just keep going, And that's what I always kind of tell myself. It doesn't matter if you're hurting, you can still do it. So I carried on. So yeah, carried on with the route. Got to a point. Honestly, I could have just cried. The pain was unbelievable. I'm just gonna get some straw over here. I'll do 2 runs. And I reached a point where I could have been picked up by someone. And I say picked up by someone. MrSealyp can't drive. She can drive, but she's not allowed to drive because she has MS, which sometimes she suffers badly from, sometimes she doesn't. But she's not allowed to drive, just in case. So I couldn't ring her, so I thought I'd ring my daughter. And at this point, Farm Dog and I were soaked through, freezing cold. I was in agony. I was shuffling at this point. I thought, okay. And I reached a point where there's a track called the Ibrey Way, which I mentioned in one of my other videos. It's an old disused railway. Once I got onto that, there was nowhere I could be picked up along that track. And that would have taken, that was another 3.5 miles at that point from where I was. I didn't realise I'd done 8 miles at that point. I was at 8 miles, and I thought, okay, if I'm going to ring, I've got to do it now. So I rang her, no answer. Second time, no answer. Third time, no answer. I thought, okay, I'm going to just walk it. So carried on walking. Started to go up the Ibrey Way. Got to a point I couldn't even walk. It was unbelievable. So I headed back, and there's a little car park to a Premier Inn, like a motel thing. If from the US, you might not have heard it, but yeah, like a motel, hotel type thing. There was no cover. There was no. I thought I'd find a bus shelter, something I can just shelter under while the rain's hammering down. I looked down at Farm Dog, and his tail's between his legs, and he's shivering uncontrollably. I felt awful at this point, just so bad for him, and the fact that it's just been a disaster, So she rang me back at that point, came and she saved us, rescued us, but oh man, my leg is unbelievable, so much pain. So yeah, it didn't I still did 8 miles. I mean, that's the thing I've got to stop and say, I did 8 miles, did alright. 3 miles of that, I was in considerable pain, which got considerably worse, but it is what it is. And because the rain just did not stop, I thought I'll sit down, I'll have a brew, I'll do a walk and talk, have a bit of a chat, we'll record something. Couldn't. It just was a disaster. I'd say the first bit wasn't. And what was quite amusing was I was up on this lovely little green, walking across the green. And I had my shorts on, and it was all right. And this guy walked past me with him and his wife and their, I assume, granddaughter. And he said to me, "You're brave wearing shorts, mate." I said, "Oh no, it's all right, it's all good." I said, "The weather's supposed to hold till about 2 o'clock this afternoon." I think I walked 100 yards and it just came down. Oh, the irony. Anyway, so yeah, it's been it was an interesting weekend, to say the least. So yeah, I didn't do any videos yesterday. By the time I got back, I took a load of painkillers. That was the other thing. So my first aid kit, grabbed my first aid kit out. I thought, right, let's honk down some painkillers and I'll just walk through this. Didn't have any painkillers in my first aid kit. That was a genius move as well. I thought I had some in there, but no. So note to self, add painkillers to first aid kit. It might be that I had them in there and they might be out of date or something. I might have got rid of them because they were out of date. I don't know. But anyway, so that's my tale from the weekend. I hope your weekends went better. So I got up this morning, I'm hobbling around, and slathered deep heat all over my ankle and the heel, and I don't know. Trouble is, it puts the real mockers on things, because if I have done proper damage to it, it's going to take a while to heal, which really puts a scupper on me going out and doing my walks, which I was trying to do more of and regularly because of my losing weight and that kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know, just feel a bit down about it today. I know I'm kind of laughing, it's that kind of, that bizarreness of when you talk about it out loud, you think, actually, it sounds absolutely nuts. But yeah, that's where we're at, that's the situation. If the next walk and talk, if I get to a point of the next week or so where I can walk on it a bit better, it may be more of a shuffle. If we get a dry day, I think the weather forecast for the next 3-4 days is horrible. Absolutely awful. So we'll see how we go. Actually, that doesn't look too bad there. It hasn't actually placed as well as I'd hoped. I was hoping to smooth it out a little bit better, but I might be able to fiddle around. That was just a very rudimentary whilst on camera. If I raise a little bit here, I might be able to smooth it a little bit easier. This seems a little bit of a steep angle. So what we'll do now is hop out, get onto here, and we'll get that switched on. So now 100,000 litres should become 300,000 litres of manure, which we can then spread on our fields, or field at the moment. But I'm going to do the rocks situation on there, I think. We'll check that out. Yeah, so what I need to do now, I've got my wheel loaded with the bucket up here, and that's the best way to go. I'm going to go through there. I've got a whole load more logs I need to load onto my log trailer. I did top up my paper mill. That's been done. So any logs I'm doing at the moment is just to sell, because the furniture factory in town is pretty much stocked up. I haven't got to worry there. So yeah, just be selling, or I can stock up my south sawmill. But I've got 152,000 litres there at the moment, so I don't have to worry. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Rather than go all the way, I'm going to put this in here. That way it's not open to the elements. So I did a little bit of sort of landscaping tweaking. It's not perfect, but again, it will do for what I need for the time being. I can always move it out if I need to. I'm thinking cedar, because the cedar's only a small one, I might be able to use the Volvo for that. We'll see. Right, where's my wheel loader? If I gather the stones up first, I can't remember where the rock piles are, but I'll gather up what I can. Then we'll head down and we'll get that going. I'm going to need some water though. Oh, I'm going to need to bring a tractor over anyway, aren't I? For my water tanker. It's only a small water tanker, so it's going to take a little bit to fill it up, but I can at least get it running. A few more products on the go which will aid in the farming situation. Don't think I have any more piles up here. Do I have any piles in the gap? This little triangle between this track and that track. I don't think I did either. Double check up here. Don't think I have any up here. These trees there are going to come down as well. It's part of my job for the railroad that I need to do. Oh, there you go. Look, I've got some over here. Anyway, some. So like I said, my plan of kind of what I might do, if I can, is it like that, is buy up plots of land just to do the rock, just do all the hydraulic braking, get rid of all the rock on different plots, then sell the plots back. So at least I can get some more, and I haven't got to go necessarily down the quarry route. Like I say, I know I've done that a few times before, and not that people have said they're bored of it or fed up with it, but it's just I've done it, and it's not to say I won't do a quarry again. If there's a map with a quarry on it, I will use it, but it was something a little bit different to get hold of rock. So I will see you in a little while. A little bit of talking. Find some more rock. I think that's somewhere. Sort of stones. Sorry. I'll see you when I've got a full bucket. We'll get over and we'll get the other facility put in. Yep, some over there. Thought I'd better fill up the water tank while I'm here. I brought the John Deere over. So what I'm going to do is we'll whiz around this side. I've also brought back over the mulcher, stump grinder, because I know once I've done this, I'm probably going to get the plow and plow out the bit I said about for doing my seeding. That way, then when I buy my seeder for doing my crop field and then put the grass in, I've got what I need. I'm intending to put it in this gap between the sawmill and my all-in-one production building. I've still got that furniture I need to sort that out. I'm just wondering whether I've missed any stumps here. I can't see anything. But it's difficult with all this undergrowth brush. Oh, hang on. Yes, right. I'm not going to be able to locate that again. Let's go and grab the... that could cause me problems. I haven't quite got a full bucket. It wouldn't let me. I tried. I seem to find I get to the point with this. This is a 10,000 litre bucket. Unless you've got a huge pile of it, it tends to just push the stuff along. So I think we've got 9,200-ish, which isn't too bad. We can get that underway, get some lime going. Where was that stuff? It's in front of one of the red ones. It's reddish. It's over here somewhere, wasn't it? Lost it, am I? Oh no, there it is. Cool, okay. Looks like it did. I'm assuming that's the only one there. What I will do is put that through the gap there, because if I do plough out over there, I'm going to need all the floor tiles are building up. Like I said, everything's set to distributing. They're full, so I can't really do anything until the roller coaster and the boatyard need any more. Should have another boat ready for tomorrow. So this is where I want to put it, in this gap here, allowing for the fact these trees that I planted are going to grow. I should have enough gap between trees to drive through. Yeah, should be alright. Somewhere about there, I guess. Okay, 25,162, so just over. So for the manure factory, it was 20 grand. This is 25 grand. When you think I sold the beaverator for, was it 300, somewhere around that? So actually it works out cheaper. I've got wood chipping options and I can do this now. So, like I said, as I'm staying in place for a while, I am a little bit concerned, I'm not going to lie, because I was talking to Bear and Papa, and a few people have messaged me actually, probably over the last couple of months, I guess. Regarding Silverrun and had I had any problems with it or on it, and I said, well, not really, not that I was aware of. I've had a few game crashes, but you know, I suppose that's a problem, isn't it, really? Some people were saying, Baron Papa messaged me and said on his save game that he was on, every time he tried to save, the game crashed. So the problem was, it didn't matter what he did. Let's get some water in here. It didn't matter what he did at that point. Every time he tried to save the game, bang, game crash. So he might play the game for half an hour, might do it for 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, try and save it, bang. He then went on, he deleted a load of stuff, got rid of a load of stuff, thought if I move stuff, delete stuff, I'll then be able to save the game. Nope, done. Would not let him save it at all. So the point he'd reached was the point he was stuck at. which is frustrating to say the least. What I might do is a bit of landscape. Actually, I might leave just the concrete pad here. I don't know if we've got concrete as an option. That was the other thing I said a while ago. If we go into our landscaping and painting, we've got that asphalt. Maybe we could put a bit around it just to make it look a little less rectangular slab bang. I've tried to make all the others kind of fit in, so I'll do a little bit of landscaping around it, I guess. Yeah, so it's a concern now. I have that real worry. I don't want to get to a point where I've got this far through. I've got a long way to go till the roller coaster's ready. But if anything was to happen to this save game, there's no way I would be starting this again. I just couldn't. Honestly, I think I would. I feel terrible for anyone that's messaged me. And I've spoken to a few people about it, and obviously Baron Papa the other day. That's horrendous. I just can't get my head around it. Now, I'm trying to remember where I did it from before. I'm sure water and stuff is both at this end, but I think I need to be absolutely certain because I don't want to tip this on the floor. Let's put that on. No, not that one. That off. That on. Yeah. And the management bit is around the side. That's cool. Just to double check. Doesn't hurt. So we'll get this going as well. Do I tip it in or do I tip it in front? I'm sure I had the same thing when I did this almost a mile. Oh, no, took it all from there. We're all good. So we should be able to now. I need to bring some more water, but let's get that going. It's fairly fast, so the same with the manure. We look at the moment, 10,000 litres already of manure. So that's manure and lime underway. What I need to do now then is go and get more stone from over where I was chipping it all up and get some more water in here. And what I might do, and then like I say, maybe a little bit of landscaping off camera, but we're building our little industrial park here. Like I said a few episodes back, it's incredible when you think, you know, I say a little while ago, a few episodes ago, this was all woodland, all trees. Again, it's that kind of, is that progress? So, I like, you know, yesterday when I started my walk, I went out through Casby Park where I did one of my walks and talks, and I said about Whippendale Woods. So I went out through Casby Park, up into Whippendale Woods, out from the back of Whippendale Woods up to a place called Croxley Green. I love walking in the woods. It was really, really cool. But I was only about 2 miles in at that point, 2.5, 3 miles, maybe 2 miles. I thought if I stop now, yes, I suppose I could have stopped and done the walk and talk at that point and a chat about Whippendale Woods. But once I was out of Whippendale Woods, it's a little bit of countryside, and then you hit Croxley, and there's a place called Rickmansworth, and you're sort of more built up at that point. Spent a lot of my youth up at Whippendale Woods, either walking. My dad used to take us out for walks, and we'd go and build camps and, you know, little forts in the woods and that kind of stuff. And we'd go for picnics in the summer. And then when I became an air cadet, we'd have night X's. We'd go out and do field training, whatever you want to call it, adventure training stuff. And we would go out to Whippendale Woods. We'd either speed march out, we'd do a night X, team versus team, capture the flag, that kind of stuff. Or when I went back to cadets as an instructor when my daughters joined, it's funny how the world changes. When I was a cadet, it was that thing of, we started out the squadron, which is quite a way away, and you would start the squadron parade night, we would speed march down there, you would do a night X and speed march back. That was it. And if you run fit, you struggled, and you got fitter. It's just the way it worked. You just got fitter. The more you did it, the fitter you got. When I went back as an instructor, and the first time I said, oh yeah, we're going to be doing a night X up at Whippy Woods, I said, oh, brilliant stuff, that's cool. The parents dropped their children off there, so the parade night actually started there at the car park at Whippendale Woods. We did the night X, then the parents picked them up from there, rather than speed marching there and back. Interesting how the world has changed somewhat. I know it needs to be, you know, they're making it more inclusive, so for people that are unfit, or people that are struggling, or people might have disabilities. I totally understand that, but I'm just saying it's interesting how it's all changed. Anyway, that's that done, at least for the time being. I'll go and get some more rock and we'll get that going. I'll go and get some more water. What I need to do now is buy myself a plough. Again, do I buy myself? No, I'm going to buy one. Yeah, because I'm going to need it when I do stuff moving forward in my fields. And what I'll probably do, if I buy any plots of land further out that I can use for fields, I'm going to need to plough out a field. So I've got a boundary and an edge for my workers if I decide to hire any workers. I'm going to go for the trust. Again, it's you know, fall back on what you know. I could go for that big old John Deere, which I use quite a lot, but I'm going to use the Lizard 6MT, 9MT. Sorry about that. Knock at the door. We'll go for the 9. I'll leave it red. That's fine. Sign colour. Happy with that. Let's buy that. I need to sell some logs, definitely, because I'm spending money. I've got money to spend. That's the main thing. As I said before, I did it on Homurkra and I did it on Western Wilds. You start off doing the login, and then you use the login to fund your habit, which is the farming side of things. Right, so that's that done. Oh, that was good timing. Let's see if I can plan this out. If I find any stumps, we'll get rid of those. This may well need liming and stuff. That's the thing I'm thinking of. And I'll look for some other plots to buy for doing stones. Oh, I've got all that. Actually, I don't need to worry for the time being. I haven't done the stone crushing up at my up at the North Sawmill. I need to do that. Right, I can come pretty much close to this. Come on. Let's just be careful how close I get. Start there. Do that and that. So, place your bets. How many stumps do you think I'm going to hit? How many do you think I missed while I was doing all of this? Do you think I missed any? I don't know. I'm pretty sure I have it somewhere, I would say. I can go right up to the trees. It's all just going to be grass that I can cut, so I can go right up. We've got that sudden clunk and a bit of a tug backwards. If I haven't hit any, I'm going to be absolutely amazed. Come on now for the fact the ground's going to be a little bit uneven in places. Oh no, that's rock. Be careful. No, that's not so good. Okay. Maybe I'll cut that. I'm not sure. I suppose what I could do, so I've got all of that I own as well, whether or not to do the same over there, just have it all grass. I can still mow it to a degree. I can mow it. I mean, there's going to be some bits that are going to be, as I've just seen, going to be a little bit too lumpy, but I can definitely try. Ah, there's one. If you had one, there we go. We've got one so far. Question is, any advances on one? Yes, you see, I've got no stones coming up, so I have got stones turned off. So I'm wondering if there are any stones over this. What I'll do is, once I've ploughed this out, I'll do my seeding sowing in the next episode. But what we'll do is, from here, we'll grab the Dagelman or the yellow Scorpio. No, is it? I haven't got the modded one installed at the moment. The one that was much bigger. I'll just lease the normal one. Actually, this is... Oh, hang on. I think I've seen another one. Oh, there's one. That's two. If you had two, any advances on two, I can definitely see another one. So we've definitely got three. So if you bet on three, we'll see where we end up. Let's do that. What we'll also do, let's check on the map to see the situation with regard to. So let's go to that way. Yes, it's going to need liming. We've just ploughed it, so that's fine. Yeah. So we are going to need lime on there. I think I've still got a little bit of lime left when I did that field there. I think I bought some, didn't I? But now we're producing some. There's that other one. I saw one over here somewhere. Who was it messaged me the other day? Is it Barris? It might have been Bear and Papa again, actually. I get flurries of messages saying that they'd managed to plant twice as many trees as they'd cut down. They'd only cut down 314 or something. They'd managed to plant over 700 trees. I haven't been able to, it hasn't let me. So that's an interesting one. Just let me go. Okay, that's not so bad. Yeah, like I say, we'll grass all this. I'm still undecided. I might not do the hillside, that side, but I can definitely go up. There's a sort of strip up, which is more like a trackway, I suppose. And then there's a plateau up on the top, which I think might not be a bad idea. I could put crops in this, to be honest with you, but for the time being we'll go with grass, because I can always use it if I do grass it. And that's something else a few people have said to me quite a lot, is when I say about doing cover crops and fertilising the ground, grass is the perfect one. It's a great cover crop. You can plant it, off it goes, and then you just plough it all in and job done. I can see it, there it is. We're still on 2 at the moment. We're rapidly heading towards 3, but 3 could be it. If we stay on 3, it's not too many for me to have to clear either, which is quite nice. I'll be happy with that. There we go, that's the 3rd. Some of this, I mean, at the end of the day, if some of this doesn't cut when I come around to cut it, it's not the end of the world, because it's still better than it was or is at the moment, I guess. We're getting all the shrubs and weeds and all the stuff like that. You know, I say weeds, yeah. It was weird because on Griffin I had weeds on, and I was all prepared. I'd made herbicide. I was quite looking forward to it. I bought myself a mechanical weeder. I was looking forward to doing herbicide spraying, and it didn't really happen. I just didn't really get any. Got some on my own fields, but not that many. Load of work to do off camera. Now today, at the time of recording this, it is the 9th Giants dev team mod QAs. As far as I know, they're back in. That's what the original forum post and Discord post and Twitter post had said. That being said, whether or not there will be any mods today or not, I don't know. It depends if they had any that were ready to go already. It might, before Christmas we were getting some around lunchtime. Prior to that, it was always around 3 PM UK time. Some days we were getting them as late as 6, 7 o'clock at night. I mean, it got quite late sometimes. So the fact that they are back in isn't going to guarantee we're going to get any today, but we might do. How many and what, and I honestly don't know. So like I say, what I'm going to do is probably, even if it just gives me a strip of grass, it's just a little bit extra. I can either feed to the sheep or turn into hay or do whatever. I might find some more stumps while I'm doing this as well. This flat section runs up here. I might do, it's quite steep that side and that side, so I don't know how much I'd get away with, but we've got a nice bit of a plateau up here, so I'll get all this grassed as well. Why not while I'm doing it? There you go, I can already see a couple up here. That's just a couple of trees I might remove here. Oh, I've got some more stones up here. We have got some more stones. Let me just avoid that for the time being, and I'll take that out. So, once this is done, I'm going to get those stumps out, and what I will do is I will see you probably. I'll lease one of the rock pickers, and we'll whiz over and have a look and see if they are rocks on that grass field, on that crop field over there. They might be, they might not be. We'll have to have a look. You know how the saying goes, stumps and stones may break my bones. That's what we seem to have. I may have ploughed some of the hillside. Some of the bits that were a little bit smoother that I might be able to grass. So I didn't realise I was going to swing by and check on the boat again. Just, you know, why not? I've got a Dagelman. We'll check out this stone situation on the field. It might be residue left over from, you know. Before I arrived, let's just say that, okay, we're not looking too bad. What time is it now? It's 3:52. Will that be ready by tomorrow? Probably. It's just the saddle to go on now, isn't it? Maybe. Maybe. Okay. Check it out. It'll give me some more stones. I've turned off the rock crusher lime production because it's run out of stone. We've got over 20,000 litres. We only put 9 and a bit in, so that's good. We're getting a good ratio of lime from our stone. If we get a load off of here, great. I bought the wheel loader over. That's got another 4,500 litres in the bucket there. So I've got some more to collect here and there. But we'll just see what happens here. This is, looks like there's definitely some here. Let's drop it down. See if we actually get any. That's peculiar. That's definitely stone there on the ground. This can't be because I've mulched it. Yeah, you can see it all over. So, why is it not? That has been lowered. Doesn't need lowering anymore, does it? It's definitely not picking any up. It's very strange. I wonder if I ploughed this, whether or not that would disappear. Why is me doing that, or is that going to be a lot of extra work that's not really needed? I went for the smaller Dagelman to test this because I didn't want to spend a fortune leasing a rock picker and then find out, as I have just done, that they're not actually technically there. I mean, yeah, weird one. This is frustrating me still, actually. That was something I was going to test. Is this fencing? That's a bit of a weird one. So it can't be removed. I'll double check. I'm pretty sure I own the land, but it's not giving me the option to remove it. Whether or not, if I landscape over it, sometimes that works for things, but I don't think it's going to. We go with painting and grass. No. Like I said, I know there's no collision. I can drive through it, but I would have been happier if I had a kind of open trackway kind of to get to it. Anyway, that all being said, I'm trying to decide now what to do. My options are buying a seeder, and like I said, I'm going to do that in the next episode because I've got seeding to do. I've got a few. I've said this before. I've looked. There are quite a few seeders, but size-wise, there's a lot of big ones. Some aren't direct drills. Obviously, some are. I've looked at my options. There aren't as many seeders and planters as you'd think. There are a few, but not as many as you'd think. I was saying about I'm probably going to go for the John Deere 8350, 6 metres wide, direct drill, £6 not expensive to buy. On previous versions, if you use different frames, there were different frames available. You could hook multiple together. I don't think you were supposed to, but you could. I was looking at the Lizard Agris, no, Airsem I think it is, 6040, and also the Lemken Solitaire 12800, which I quite like as well. Both of those aren't direct drills, but I'm thinking if I plough that field now, since I've got the 9 metre plough, I might go for one of those rather than getting the John Deere. Oh, to be fair, I could get them both because the John Deere is only £6, so I could get the John Deere and have that moving forward. I'm now thinking, do I go and grab that plough? You know what? Before I finish, I'm just going to try it because I'm really puzzled by this. It could, like I say, it could be the rocks were there on the map before I arrived, and because I've got them turned off, they won't then go until I do something else, which I'm assuming will be ploughing. Let's get this out here. Give it a go. I can always get a worker to do the ploughing in the field. It's not what I was intending to do, but it's not going to hurt, I guess. I mean, it might well be if I just used the direct drill and seeded over them, the rocks would go because it's changing the texture. But I'm just curious to see first whether we'll go with this, and maybe we can test that next episode. If I get the direct drill, we'll give it a go and see if the direct drill gets rid of them. We could do that. So it's nearly 4 o'clock. I might get onto that tomorrow. To be fair, we haven't lost the light yet. During the winter months it was getting dark already, so it's not so bad that we haven't lost any light yet. Go up to the North Sawmill and do a whole load of rock breaking as well. It's cutting across here. Not ideal, but let's see if this works. You can see them on the floor there already. Nope, they're still there. Curiouser and curiouser. I should have left the Dagelman here, shouldn't I? Just thinking, did I need to plough them and then do it? I was convinced they'd go at this point. Well, I'm going to do some more testing. I'll try it with the Dagelman, see how it works, but excuse me. Who knows? Manure is being produced, lime is being produced, new fields created. Stone situation is okay. Obviously not on this field, it's not. That's a bit peculiar. And next episode we'll get some seeding done. I'll get those logs delivered as well. I think start of next episode we'll get those done, and then I could look at getting cows straight away. I've got the resources, I've got what I need to feed them, so I could think about getting my cows as well if I want to do that straight away. I've done the prep work. I say I've done the prep work. I haven't got a huge amount of tail mix ration, but I'm not intending to get loads and loads of cows, so we should be alright to keep this going for a while. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.